Hey, what's up guys? I'm Clippyyy from Demo Gaming, and today we're going to be talking about 5 tips that will make you a better jungler. Now this is for low elo players. If you're a high elo, you probably already know this. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I actually get some of those comments on my videos like, what the fuck? But we do take stuff from high elo players, so don't get too offended if it's not your taste, since everyone can build a champion differently. But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, this is 5 tips for low elo junglers that will make you better. Take in consideration everything we're talking about, maybe write it down, and then try it out for yourself. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, let's get into the tips. Okay, so let's talk about trading. So trading is super important, and a lot of low elo players have no idea how to trade as junglers. So let's say, right, that your bottom lane, right, they're countered or they just suck, whatever, and they die, right? Maybe they're the mid laner, right, the jungler, and then, like, they just fucking go on this shit and then fucking kill your bottom laners, right? You don't, as a jungler, let's say you're doing your fucking wolves or some shit, you don't want to go down there and die, too. That's just stupid, right? First of all, you'll be feeding them even more. They're most likely going to get the tower, and if dragons up, get the dragon. All you can do is make sure they can't counter jungle you, so take your jungle, and then what you want to do is, since they're bottom, you need to go top lane, right? And then top lane, you can either farm your top jungle, because it's going to give you around 300 gold, which is the same amount as a kill, right? And you can go ahead and gank top lane if they're overextending. If they're not, you're most likely fucked, but you can still go in for a gank or put in pressure, right? Take their tower, so you'll be trading this tower for that tower, and you'll most likely put your top laner ahead. And then you can, of course, go into his jungle and then steal this, which will give you around 300 gold, which is what you should be trading like. If your bottom laners come, just fucking mute them. If they say, hey, why are you not there? Come bot lane. Or if they spam, just fucking ignore them and go top lane and try to get equal amount of gold. Now, of course, they're gonna come out ahead a little bit, but it's still the best trade you can possibly do in the position you're in. Now, if your two bottom laners, like, they survive, right? And then they're only the jungler's there, right? And then you're doing your blue buff or some shit. Then you can go ahead, and if you're strong enough, you can go ahead and gank that. Or you can, of course, just go into his jungle and see what's up and try to steal it. Either one is fine. But if you go bot lane, that might be better if you're a stronger jungler. If you're a high pressure, tanky jungler, like, you know, like Sejuani, Gragas, Rek'Sai, Zac, and then you're going to want to go and gank and put as much pressure as you can, because your mid game to late game is probably going to suck dick, and you want to get the advantages and get your team ahead as fast as you can. But if you're like a let's say if you're like a Teemo or like a Xin Zhao, or like anyone who's attack speed who needs to farm like Jax, it'd probably be the best idea, because you might be like underpowered at the moment since you didn't hit your power spike. Then it'd probably be a better idea just to take the jungle and leave, and then gank later after their jungler is gone, because it's also going to put your jungler behind in XP, and it's going to, you know, you're going to get more XP and more gold. So, and then it's going to help you, you know, get farther and get more fed into the late game. So you have to be aware of trading. So it could be the other way around. Maybe you're fucking the enemy mid laner, right? They go fucking top, and then like the jungler too, and there's a 3 people top, right? They kill your fucking top laner, and then they go on the tower. You do not want, as the jungler, to go and try to stop them, since they can dive you and kill you and then get the tower. That's just a horrible idea. In that case, you can either steal the enemy's jungle here again, or you can gank bot lane and get this tower. And then you have dragon control, and then you can most likely get the dragon. You can also go for Rift Herald if they're, you know, down there with your top laner. If you're attack speed champion, you want the Rift Herald. If you're a high pressure tanky jungler with no attack speed, and then you let your top laner have it. So yeah, that's basically it for trading. I mean, of course there's a lot more to trading than what I'm saying, but this is just kind of like the basics, of trading. Alright guys, so tip number 2, we're going to be talking about vision. Vision is super fucking important. You got to remember to place vision. You got to always do it every single game. It can help your mid laners, it can help any of your laners, it can help you, and it can help you make the right decision when trading. And if you're an assassin, it can help you like maybe take out someone really quickly and get ahead more. Basically, as the jungler, on your second or third back, you want to buy a vision ward. You can try doing it on your first back too. If you have a little extra gold like 75, buy a vision ward, that's great. You can either place it on the end of your red buff bush, or you can place it in theirs. This is called defense and offensive warding. So a defensive ward would be like if maybe the enemy team's ahead and you're afraid that they're going to come and invade your jungle, or gank and turret dive maybe your bottom laners. So you can place a pink ward at the end of your red bush, and then if you're ahead, you can do a aggressive ward or an offensive ward, and you can put it at their red buff to know where they are in their jungle. It can also help your mid laner if he comes through his red side to gank your mid laner. Those are two good places that'll help you get information, and if they're invading, and it tells you when you can invade depending on what type of ward you put. And they can also put it in tri bushes for the bot lane or top lane, depending on what side you're on. And yeah, it gives lots of information. It's really good to place vision to help your laners maybe not feed as much, since we all know they're feeders. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for tip number 2. Place your vision. Make sure to get pink wards if you can, and place them as much as you can, since once you get your full build, you can't place any more pink wards unless you like fucking sell it or buy a pink ward and then go out and go back and get your shit. But that's not convenient. So yeah. So tip number 3, and this is huge for a jungler if you're in like bronze and silver and sometimes in like low gold, and this is invading. Invading is super important. If you invade, most likely their laners in the beginning aren't covering the spots to have vision if like you go in and invade his jungle, right? What I usually do is I go in his red buff, I wait there until he comes, and then I kill him and then take the red buff and then I walk away. Really important to just wait in that bush and kill the enemy jungler if you can, because you get his red buff, it puts him behind so he can't gank, and he has to get more XP and gold to get more items, and it puts you ahead. And it gives you first blood, which is extra gold. So that's super important. If you get that, it'll make you so far ahead, and it guarantees you like a great lead in the beginning and early game, so you can make more plays, and you can even get more vision because of the extra gold and your items way faster. So invading is definitely something as a jungler you should do almost every game, because in low elo, like I said, it almost guarantees you a kill and a really good lead if you do kill him. Now sometimes it will fail, like if the enemy jungler is stronger at that like level 1 and 2, and then you can get fucked by them, and if you die, well, you're fucked. And then also if they're like top laners or bot laners and their mid laner, if they come roam and kill you with the jungler, and then you also kind of get fucked. So you got to be careful, but usually low elo, they don't really have that good map awareness, so you can quickly kill them, get out before they start coming and roaming. So that's really important. You can get a huge lead from that. And then also you can counter jungle. Counter jungling is also really important. You steal their monsters, which denies them XP and gold, so it's a great thing to do. And that's basically it for tip number 3. Okay, so let's talk about tip number 4. And tip number 4 is pretty big. It's kind of basic, and this is Rift Herald. So Rift Herald is more OP than you think. It's really good, and it lasts fucking forever. I don't know exactly how long it lasts, but I know it lasts so long. Basically, if you're a high pressure early game champion, you can gank your top lane, get your top lane fed, and then push the lane, get a turret, or just push the wave. Place vision in like try bush or whatever, depending on which side you are around the Rift Herald, and then you can go ahead and take it super easily. Make sure you get it right, like you go in front, tank the damage, and then your top laner goes behind it, so when the eye opens, it can you guys can kill it much faster. And it's super OP. Depending on which type of champion you are, you can either take the Rift Herald buff, or you can let your top laner have it. If you're like a early pressure like Gragas or something, you should let your laner have it because it'll put them way ahead. However, if you're like a attack speed or really carry heavy like champion like Shyvana or Xin or something, and then you take it and then go to every lane, try killing their laners, and then take the tower with it. So basically what it does is it gives you 5% reduced damage from enemy champions if you're alone. So that's really good for killing enemy jungler as well, and it gives you, and it stacks corruption. Once it gets to 100 corruption stacks, it deals bonus magic damage based on your level. So the longer you have and the higher level you get, the stronger it is. And trust me, it's OP for taking towers and killing people. Like, they're like, what the fuck is this? Because it's free extra damage, and it does so much. It's really OP. You can definitely, if you're the attack speed jungler, and you can take towers super easily with it. You can take dragon really easily. It even lasts for Baron when it comes, and you can take Baron really easily with that, and it's just super good for getting objectives, and it can definitely help you snowball yourself or your top laner depending on who takes it. So it's super important. I really recommend, if you can get it, but make sure you do put vision so you can see if the enemy mid laner, the jungler, or the top laner comes back and tries to kill you, since you might get weak from it depending on the champions also. So we're going to be talking about how to gank and when to farm. So this is really important as a low elo jungler. It's probably like one of the most important things that will get you to a better elo. So basically what I mean is know your champion strengths, right? If you are an attack speed farming champion, AFK farming champion like Jax, Master Yi, Shyvana, you fucking farm. You don't gank as much as you can. First of all, you're probably going to get nothing done in the gank, and you'll be losing XP, and the other jungler will have the advantage because they'll be farming. Now, if you're a high pressure jungler, right, you're Gragas, you're some fucking fat tank, and you have lots of CC in the early game, then you can fucking gank a lot, because you're kind of a support jungler, and you want to get your laners as fed as fucking possible. So in that case, you're going to want to gank, but farming is very important in this game. You can't just gank a bunch and get nothing done and then just keep trying to gank. First of all, you're going to be way lower level, and you're going to probably fuck yourself. So knowing when to farm is really important, and farming gives you a lot of gold. So if you farm, right, your whole jungle, right, you get all this, you get Scuttler, and then you get all that, right? That is equivalent to 636 gold. Now, of course, when you get into the later game, the amount of gold you get actually rises. But I'm just talking about early game. So you get one Scuttler, you get all that, you get 600 gold. If you get the Scuttler gold is 90. Fuck. I can't write in this fucking program. But 90 gold is for the Scuttler, right? You can get the other Scuttler too. But usually the other jungler is going to probably take it. So farming is really important. You're going to want to farm as much as you can, and it's worth a lot of gold. I mean, it's worth 636 gold if you get all of that, and then plus 90 if you get the other Scuttler. So you're going to want to farm a lot, unless, you know, you're one of those tanks, and then you can just gank the fuck out of everyone, because you're probably going to suck late game anyways. So might as well just gank a lot. Now, you still got to farm, but you could farm kind of mildly and gank a shit ton. So that's pretty much it for ganking and farming. Just farm a lot. Farm more than your opponent and know when to gank. Of course, if you're attack speed, no fucking CC. You only gank if they are overextended. If you're, high CC, you can gank pretty much whenever. Probably like fucking flash through that wall and gank. It surprises the hell out of them. You can go through there, go through there. It's all good ganking areas. So, and that's pretty much it.